how to use the Google machine to pack your restaurant with new customers.
Get your knife and fork ready to dig into a plate full of profits on the DFY Restaurant Revolution podcast with your host, recovering restaurant owner, Michael Thibault.
Hey, welcome to this week's edition of the DFY Restaurant Revolution video podcast. You might be watching this on YouTube, or you might be listening to it in your car, or while you're on the treadmill, which is a great idea. My name is Michael Thibault, and I'm a recovering restaurant owner and caterer, turned author, speaker, coach, owner of DFY Marketing Systems, and we've been serving the independent restaurant community since 2008, helping you get more new customers and get your existing customers to come back quicker, spending more money. And I appreciate you. Thank you to tuning in to this week's edition of the DFY Restaurant Revolution podcast, where we're trying to make a difference to help you have a better restaurant and a better life, because those things are synonymous, that go hand in hand. So this week I'm going to be talking about Google. I've spent the past 16 years learning how to master Google search, Google AdWords, and it's changed so much over the past 16 years, how to use that to help our clients get more new customers. Because Google's pretty much the number one way that new customers are finding you. And they're typically finding you on the mobile phone, right? That's what people look at. So I'm going to give you some quick, easy things that you can do to help use the Google machine to pack your restaurant with new customers, because that's where your customers are looking. You want to be where they're looking. That's how you're successful getting more new customers. Now, what I'm going to talk about today is a new customer marketing strategy, okay? Don't get that confused with trying to get your existing customers to come back quicker and spending more, because it's a lot harder to get a new customer, right? Because people want to buy and go places that they know, like, and trust. And a new customer doesn't know you. They don't know if they like you yet, and they certainly don't trust you. So it's a lot harder. It's a different type of marketing. That's one thing you got to get over. And you have to remember, without new customers, your restaurant will die. So you need a constant funnel, a constant flow of new customers. And that's what we really excel at and specialize at DFY Marketing Systems, is getting new customers for restaurant owners. I call that the hard lifting of marketing, right? And it's a lot different. Things have changed. It's people ain't looking in the yellow pages anymore. They go to the Google machine to get information, right? We all know that. When's the last time you actually saw a yellow page around? It's they just don't have them anymore, and people actually get pissed because they are trying to go green and conserve paper. And yellow pages used to be really thick. If you can even find one now, they're super small. And I used to sell yellow pages back in the late 90s, so I was a huge proponent. But when Google came out, it totally changed everything. So enough about Google. Why is Google? Well, let's talk about why Google is so important to your restaurant business and getting new customers. So there's 5.9 million Google searches per minute. Do you think some of your new customers are looking for you on Google right now? Absolutely they are. Yes, and 63% of Google searches occur on one of these. If you can't see what I'm doing, I'm holding up a mobile phone right now, okay? So that means everything you do has to look good on mobile. And trust me, Google ain't free. They wouldn't be in business as long and as successful as they have. One of the top companies in the entire world. They made $191 billion in ad revenue, and that was a couple years ago. 191 billion. That's more than a lot of countries. Okay, so just remember, Google does cost if you want to effectively use it for new customer acquisition, which is Google AdWords campaign, and I'll talk about that briefly in a second. But the other thing you need to know is most Google searches are 3 to 4 words: restaurant near me, barbecue restaurant, right? Italian restaurant, best pizzeria. Okay, so they're short, and you want to use that in your description in your Google business listing. So try to match what people are searching and include that in anything you do online. Okay, but especially in your Google business listing. Again, talk about that in a second. And half of the Google searches have local intent, which means they're looking for something within a 5-mile radius of where they're at right now. That's why I love it. And the other reason why I love Google is people are searching Google because they've got a problem and they want it solved immediately, correct? Right? I'm hungry for pizza, so what do? I pick up my phone and I search for pizza. We want to go out tonight. We want to go celebrate a birthday on Friday. What type of restaurant do we want to go to? They pick up this or they go to their computer and they do a Google search. 77% of consumers use Google when looking for local business information. Okay, real quick, I want to give you the difference between organic SEO and paid search because that's what I talked about. Organic SEO is when you don't pay Google or any search engine for traffic to your website or your Google business listing. Organic basically means free. Paid means you're paying them money for traffic, running ads, okay? So organic, free, paid, you're paying somebody. All right, makes sense. And you should be doing both actually on Google. And I like to look at it as a funnel, right? So people get in their heads, hey, I feel like pizza tonight. We haven't had pizza in a while. You got to get noticed. You got to get the name of your pizzeria out there. You got to come up in those searches. Then you have to attract them to take action, which is order a pizza, from your pizza restaurant. And then the third thing is you got to convince them to take the action, okay, which you do that through Google reviews. Real quick, so the attraction part, we're going to jump around a little bit. How do you attract new customers to your restaurant? Okay, well, you got to show up and search, okay, organically or paid. Paid's a little bit easier. That's why I like paid. Also, one of the reasons why I love Google is people, like I said, people use Google when they want to take action right away. That's why we call it intent-based marketing. Okay, social media is pattern interrupt marketing. That means people are scrolling and they see an ad for pizza. They might not necessarily want a pizza right now, but they see your ad. Whereas opposed to Google, I'm searching for pizzas and your pizzeria showed up. I want to take action. That's why Google is typically more expensive for paid advertising. But as far as free and SEO and attracting new customers, you want to optimize your Google business listing, your Google business profile. You want that to show up in the top 3 on Maps, okay? And there's a bunch of different ways, and you can get information on our website, dfymarketingsystems.com, on how to do that. I suggest joining our free membership. You can see membership tab at the top. You can either log in or sign up. If you sign up right now, if you catch it, we put up a new webinar. There's a whole class on Google business listings and how to optimize that for your restaurant. Okay, but that's that listing. It looks like your yellow page listing online that shows up on the right-hand side when people search for your restaurant. Take a look at it. Make sure you claim it, please. You can't answer reviews. You can't change the information. You can't make sure the hours are correct. Please pay attention to NAP, name, address, phone. Those are like the 3 most basic things you need to make sure that are correct on your Google business listing. But if you haven't claimed it, click Claim Business and you go through a verification process. We do that for our clients. It's important that you have that. You don't want anybody else to get a hold of it, okay? So having a good business Google listing, Google business profile is key. Okay, fill everything out. Put the hours in. Make sure you write a couple of sentences about your restaurant. And make sure you're saying exactly what type of restaurant you are. Pizzeria, make sure you put pizzeria in there, right? And tick all the boxes that are applicable. Handicap, accessible. You serve beer, you have wine. Whatever you can, fill that out. Make sure your menu on your website is crawlable. That means you can take your mouse, this thing right here, and highlight menu items on your website. That means it's crawlable. Google likes that. Google can see that. If it's just a picture of you holding your menu, Google can't see that, and you're not going to get credit for it, and your customers aren't going to see it either. So you want to make sure that your menu is crawlable, and you fill out all the information, and you claim your Google business list. And the other thing that's super important is to answer your Google reviews. That's hugely important. If you want to know where you stand, head over to our website again, dfymarketingsystems.com. Click on the DFY Review Manager. You can get a free report on where you stand on Google against your competition for reviews. It's free. It's really cool, and it'll show you what people are talking about your restaurant online right now. Okay, so what do I mean optimize your Google restaurant listing? Answer your reviews, like I said. Put in some photos. You can upload your own photos. Tell your story. Fill out a couple sentences about your restaurant. Like I said, verify your name, address, phone number. Fill out all the description, tick the boxes, and make sure you keep that information current because it changes all the time. Also, little secret tip, you can also highlight one preferred method of online ordering. So if you want it to come directly through your POS system, you can highlight that in your Google business list, and you don't have to pay Uber Eats, Dine and Dash, whatever, all those different third-party providers that are picking up food at your restaurant. You can pick the one that you want and show your customers that, okay? But super important, make sure you are paying attention to those reviews, all right? And also, it's cool to market your Google reviews anywhere on your website, on social media. We do that for our customers. Like I said, you can get more information about that on our website, but it's a very powerful technique to get new customers. Google believes in it so much, and that's going to help you with SEO, pushing your listing up organically. That's not paid, simply by answering your reviews. And it's such, you know what? If somebody takes the time out of their day to leave you a review, I don't care if it's negative or positive, you're obligated to answer that back. It's super important. Google thinks it's so important, they'll let that person who left the review within 5 minutes know that you answered the review. And trust me, they're running over there to check out what you had to say about their reviews, because it's good to show people that you care. Okay, so Google business profile, Google business listing, same thing. Make sure you have it verified. Make sure you do all those different things that I just told you about. Now, Google Ads. Google Ads are a little trickier, and I suggest if you're going to have pay Google for traffic, and it's relatively inexpensive. Excuse me. You can do them for like $50 a month. You just have to know what you're doing, and it'll get you at the top, which means people will see your listing first. And you can get it on the map. You can get it on page 1 of Google, depending on how much competition you have. And clicks can be anywhere from, I've seen them from 30 cents up to $2 a click, depending if it's for catering, for the restaurant, and how competitive your area is. But typically around 50 cents, a click is a good gauge. But that's when you see that sponsored ad at the top. Okay, that's a great way to draw in a lot of people, and then you can control what the keywords are that triggers the ad. So if you're a pizzeria, you don't want to be stuck at a seafood, restaurant listing. You want to make sure when people search pizza, you come up, and Google AdWords allows us to do this. Here's a little pro tip for you too. You can also target your competitors. That's right. We can put in different names of your competitors and target ads. So when they type in the, ABC Pizzeria and your XYZ Pizzeria, your ad will show up. Typically, it'll show up above the other one, and people have a tendency to click on the first thing that they see at the top of the page, which means you get more customers and more business and dominate your local area. That's super cool. There's all different types of tricks and things you can do with Google Ads. The biggest thing to remember is if you're not a Google Ad expert, find somebody who is. We do it for our company. If you're interested, go to our website, dfymarketingsystems.com. And you can see there's a Google new customer page. You can see what our program is, or just get in touch with us. You can call the office and we can, walk you through and tell you about Google Ads and what we can do to help drive more new customers into your restaurant using Google. But that's the two ways that you can dominate Google search: SEO, Google Business Listing, answer your reviews, update your information, make sure it's all correct, and do some Google posting just like you do with your Facebook page. You can do that on your Google Business Listing. All the information's on there. And also Google paid ads showing up above your competition, getting in the maps. But it's all about creating a new customer conversion system, something that runs on autopilot so you don't have to do it each and every day. So if you're interested, like I said, head to our website. And I just want to say thank you so much for listening. Google is an important tool in your marketing toolbox to getting new customers to your restaurant. Don't ignore it. Okay, it's the number one search engine in the world, the number one website in the world. Your new customers are on there looking for you right now. Thank you again for listening to this week's edition of the DFY Restaurant Revolution. Like I said, you can head over to our website, DFYmarketingsystems.com. You can find all sorts of great information, articles on Google, your Google Business Listing, and Google paid ads. You can get that review scorecard, all types of great information. And if you're not part of our DFY family or have a free membership, which you get lots of free tools, over $1,500 in free tools, simply go to our website, go on the member only section, and you can sign up for free. Appreciate it, and I hope you have an unbelievable week.
Thanks for listening to the DFY Restaurant Revolution podcast. Join us in the revolution by subscribing, rating, and reviewing on your favorite podcasting platform today.